Food poisoning, also known as foodborne illness, is a common yet preventable health issue affecting millions worldwide. It occurs when food contaminated with harmful bacteria, viruses, or toxins is consumed. Despite modern advancements in food safety, food poisoning remains a significant public health challenge, impacting not only individual health but also economic stability due to medical costs and lost productivity. Understanding the causes, symptoms, and preventive measures is essential for reducing its incidence. The path to preventing food poisoning starts with recognizing its ubiquity and potential severity. Each year, food poisoning affects an estimated 1 in 6 Americans, leading to approximately 128,000 hospitalizations and 3,000 deaths. These statistics highlight the critical need for increased awareness and education on how to handle food safely from purchase to plate. By delving into the intricacies of foodborne pathogens and their prevention, we can equip individuals with the knowledge to protect themselves and their families. The impact of food poisoning extends beyond immediate health concerns. It can cause long-term health complications, such as kidney failure, chronic arthritis, and brain and nerve damage. Therefore, understanding food poisoning is not just about dealing with an inconvenient bout of illness, but preventing a potentially life-altering condition. This introduction sets the stage for a deeper exploration into the causes, symptoms, and preventive strategies that can help mitigate the risks associated with contaminated foods. The scope of food poisoning is vast, affecting individuals of all ages and demographics worldwide. It is not restricted to occasional outbreaks from restaurant meals but can originate from any point in the food supply chain, from farm to table. This widespread issue calls for a comprehensive approach involving consumers, food producers, and regulatory bodies to implement and adhere to strict food safety practices. By understanding the vast reach and implications of foodborne illnesses, stakeholders can better prioritize and enact effective preventative measures. Economically, food poisoning imposes significant costs on healthcare systems and businesses. Employers face lost productivity when employees are ill, while healthcare providers deal with increased burdens during food poisoning outbreaks. Additionally, there are broader economic impacts, including the cost of recalling contaminated food products and the potential harm to a company's reputation, which can lead to decreased consumer trust and sales. These economic considerations underscore the importance of stringent food safety protocols. Moreover, food poisoning can have a profound social impact. For families, especially those with vulnerable members such as children and the elderly, foodborne illnesses can cause not only physical and emotional distress, but also financial strain due to medical expenses and lost wages. This can exacerbate existing social inequalities, where lower-income families might be less able to absorb these unexpected costs. Addressing food safety effectively can thus also contribute to social equity and community health. Central to the issue of food poisoning are the pathogens that cause it. These include a variety of bacteria, viruses, and toxins, each with different characteristics and effects on the human body. Bacteria like Salmonella, E. coli, and Listeria are among the most common causes of foodborne illnesses. These bacteria can thrive in a range of environments, from raw meat and poultry to fresh produce, making comprehensive safety measures essential across all types of food. Viruses, particularly norovirus, also play a significant role in foodborne diseases. Unlike bacteria, viruses do not grow in food but can be transferred during handling if proper hygiene practices are not followed. This makes personal hygiene, especially hand washing, a critical component of food safety. Understanding these pathogens' transmission modes can significantly reduce the incidence of food poisoning by informing more targeted prevention strategies. Toxins, often produced by bacteria or molds, are another culprit in food poisoning scenarios. These toxins can persist in food even after the bacteria are killed by heat during cooking. For example, staphylococcal enterotoxins produced by some strains of Staphylococcus aureus can lead to severe symptoms even in small amounts. Knowing which pathogens are associated with different types of food and how they behave can guide safer food handling and preparation practices. Food contamination can occur at multiple points along the food supply chain, from the moment crops are planted or animals are reared, to the point where food is processed, transported, stored, sold, and finally prepared. At the farming stage, the use of contaminated water for irrigation or the presence of animals that carry harmful pathogens can lead to the initial contamination of produce and livestock. This highlights the need for good agricultural practices that prioritize hygiene and proper use of resources. During processing, cross-contamination can occur when raw foods come into contact with cooked or ready-to-eat products. This step requires stringent controls and proper facility hygiene to prevent the spread of pathogens. Transportation and storage also present risks, particularly when temperature control is inadequate, facilitating the growth of bacteria. These stages are critical control points where strict adherence to food safety protocols can prevent the proliferation of pathogens. In retail and food service settings, the final points before food reaches the consumer, the risks of contamination are compounded by the volume of food handled and the complexity of food preparation processes. Employee training in food safety, regular health inspections, and consumer awareness are all crucial in these environments. By understanding each stage of the food supply chain, stakeholders can implement focused interventions to reduce the risk of foodborne illnesses. Now we need to delve into the best practices for preparing food safely to avoid contamination and food poisoning. Let's cover essential tips on hygiene, proper cooking techniques, and storage methods to ensure your meals are safe and healthy. First, let's talk about hygiene. Always wash your hands thoroughly with soap and water before handling any food. This simple step can significantly reduce the risk of transferring harmful bacteria to the food you are preparing. Additionally, make sure all cooking utensils, cutting boards, and surfaces are clean before you start cooking. Next, proper cooking techniques are crucial. Ensure that meats are cooked to the right internal temperature to kill any harmful bacteria. Use a food thermometer to check that poultry reaches 165 degrees Fahrenheit, ground meats reach 160 degrees Fahrenheit, and steaks, chops, and roasts reach 145 degrees Fahrenheit with a rest time of 3 minutes. Avoid cross-contamination by using separate cutting boards for raw meats and other foods like vegetables and fruits. Finally, proper storage methods can prevent the growth of bacteria. Refrigerate perishable foods within 2 hours of cooking, and make sure your refrigerator is set to 40° F or below. Store leftovers in shallow containers to ensure they cool quickly and evenly. Label and date your leftovers to keep track of their freshness and consume them within 3 to 4 days. By following these best practices for hygiene, cooking, and storage, you can minimize the risks of food contamination and enjoy meals that are both delicious and safe. Now let us get deeper into what happens when you get food poisoning. Salmonella infection, a well-known illness from food poisoning, can cause severe stomach cramps, diarrhea, and vomiting. These symptoms can appear 6 hours to 72 hours after consuming contaminated food and usually last 4 to 7 days. E. coli infection, on the other hand, can lead to bloody diarrhea and, in severe cases, kidney failure. This condition, known as hemolytic uremic syndrome, can be life-threatening and requires immediate medical attention. Symptoms typically appear 3 to 4 days after exposure and can last up to a week or more. Norovirus, often referred to as the stomach flu, can cause a sudden onset of severe vomiting and diarrhea. Symptoms can appear as quickly as 12 hours after exposure and usually last 1 to 3 days. Although it is typically not severe, norovirus can be highly contagious and lead to dehydration, especially in young children and the elderly. Understanding these illnesses can help in recognizing the symptoms early and seeking appropriate medical attention. By being aware of the potential dangers and symptoms of foodborne illnesses, you can take prompt action to prevent complications and promote a quicker recovery. Early detection is key to managing these illnesses effectively. Stay vigilant and always prioritize food safety practices to protect yourself and your loved ones from these harmful pathogens. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Leave a comment below with your thoughts and any suggestions for future videos. See you in the next one.